Right, so it's Sunday and I'm on, so it must be the second part of the video, which really is the fourth part of the wiring video. I know it's not so brilliant doing wiring, but we're getting there, and I'm hoping that it can help people be a bit more confident to do their wiring. So I'm Steve and welcome to the channel. If you're a new viewer, go back, look at some of the old videos. If you're a returning viewer, thanks very much for returning, and to everybody, please like, subscribe and press the bell notification. Subscribing really helps, doesn't cost anything, and leaving a comment also helps, and I always try and reply. Leave a thumbs up, thumbs down, just let me know what you're thinking. Okay, let's get on with the wiring, because it seems to be taking ages, but it is just a bit time consuming and you don't want to rush it. Like I said before, be methodical, work logically, and you should have no issues. Let's get on with it. So this is my sleeve, and you cut that with the scissors and then just melt the ends with a lighter. So what I need to do is put that on it there, all the way to just past that joint. So I'm going to cut that there. And before it frazzles away, with my fingers, I'm going to melt the end of that, just to make sure it's okay. Right, so now I have to get this into there, but I also need to get some heat shrink sleeving on. But this, I'll put this on first just because it's a tighter fit. And it is a little bit faffy. You can get split sleeve, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's a sleeve with a split down the side, and I'll be using some of that later. But where these, you've got a single cable going in, it is better to try and use the solid stuff, I think. So I will mess about getting that in, and I'll come back to you when I've got it in. So I've slid that on, and the easiest way to do it, I found, was to bunch it up, grip the tube, let it slide, bunch it up, grip the wire, sorry, bunch it up, grip the wire, let it slide, do that, and then just walks down. And once it's on, it slides quite easily. So then I put some heat shrink around here and shrunk that and trapped the end. And then what I'm going to do is, I forgot to say, get a pack of heat shrink tubing like that. Got that from Amazon, not expensive, and it's got all the different sizes of heat shrink in, so you can see which is the best size. I'm going to pull that up. I'm going to get 3 cables, do the 3 ends like that, and then slide all 3 into one cable. So for now I'm just going to pull that tight so it's as small as it can be. Yeah, and then I'm just going to put a bit of cloth tape around that to keep the bulk down as much as possible, and then tape that like that. So then I'll do the next wire, which is only going to be about that far. Same thing, heat shrink on the end, tape that, and then all of them will go together. So there's 3 about there. Well, I'll line up all the ends, so there you go, they will all be the same length. So I'll sleeve that to there, do that with all 3, and then put sleeving over all the way down, heat shrink the end, and that'll look really nice, be well protected. That is basically what it looks like, all nicely connected, joining onto there, then 3 cables, which I'll then, once I get the right length, I will put the connector back on, but that can go back onto the bike. So as you can see, I've done this wire, which was going to come up here, and the 3 that are joined, that one goes onto there, that one comes across from near the water pump, joins into there, and then goes up nice and neat, so that once they all get clipped in place, but you can see how neat that looks. And then what I've done is I've taped the loom, but I haven't fully taped it, and I've done it like this because obviously, like so there, got all them connections on, I couldn't slide some sleeve down there, or down there, or on there. So to do that, what you get is sleeving like this, that is split sleeving, and it rolls up on itself. You get different sizes, so you've got quite a range of sizes. And what I'll do is I'll sort of put this over, as you can imagine, and then it wraps itself around. Make sure it's nice and neat. This is 1/2 inch, and it'll do that, but there's a bit more wiring in there, so it might be just a bit of a stretch to get that round. It does go round, but I'd only got that much, so I wouldn't bother. And then what I'll do is I'd put that on to where it needs to be, put some on that side, and then I would tape with my tape the joint. What I've taped now is I've taped all the joints where it splits, just to give it a bit more strength. And the benefit of this is, if you need to break into the loom, like I've realised I've forgotten to put my ignition. The ignition's going to go down there and it's going to come up, but the connector for the ignition is right on the end of there, so I'd have to split my loom back. This, you could untape it, take it off, or you could look inside, snip that bit of tape, and then alter your wiring as you need it. And this will give it, it's good abrasion, it's good against heat, and it just looks really smart, I think, on the better than just wrapping in tape, and a little bit more convenient if you need to get into it. So like so there, make sure it's all wrapped nice, and there you go. And once it's all in place, cable tied, that looks really smart, ends tied up. So I've got two different sizes of that, 1/2 inch. I've got some 3/8 for the smaller wires that I can't get round. I don't think I'll need to go bigger than that. And the individual wires, or ones where, like so the coils where there's only push spade connectors on, I could probably get the smaller stuff over it. So I'll continue with them. I have got more cable to do. I've got the ignition wire, there's 2 or 3 more to extend, and then I'll fasten them all together with, so they're nice and neat and they run nice and neat. I've got my sticky connectors, which you've seen, and I'll start putting the loom in place. There's still some more alterations to do. All the front needs doing. There's the rear light to set up. There's quite a few more bits and pieces, but the bulk of the wiring's under the way now. Okay, so you've seen basically how to do the wiring. If anything comes up that's a little bit different, I'll film it, but I'm going to get on extending the wires, putting things in place, wrapping the loom with the sleeving, and that'll be it for this week. Back to normal, video on Wednesday, where I'll finish off all the wiring. I'll run through anything that I've done off camera, but basically I should have the wiring loom pretty much in place there, barring the front end, which I'll have to cut down later on when I get my light sorted. But I'm hoping that that'll be that the carbs will go on, and that will be the final part of the wiring really. And then the week after that, I think I will look at, I've already been marking on here, altering the seat unit so that this hump is a separate piece and can be painted, so I can send the main seat away for upholstery, and then this can be done painted. I've got an idea of how I want to do it, so it stays as one piece but can be separated. So that won't be next week, that'll be the week after. So finish off the wiring next week. Still a fair bit to do, but I will see you next Wednesday.